Hey guys, it's Chef Lola. I'm about to make some pasta for you guys. So today I'm gonna be making my sweet spicy pasta. I hope you guys like it, and just know if there's any questions about modifications on the recipe, please do ask. I will be happy to answer that question for you. So first things first, we're gonna do our pasta, obviously. So our pasta is boiling. You can see that good old steam coming out. Okay, next is going to be the sauce we're going to work on, and then we're going to braise some chicken. I use most of the same ingredients to keep the flavor consistent. So I have a whole book about cooking with paprika, cumin, and certain ingredients. So when I say I have a whole book, I've written one. So now we're starting the sauteing process. So this time we're not going to season the bell peppers. The bell peppers are going to have their natural flavor to this dish. So in the same pan we sauteed our bell peppers in, we're going to saute our chicken strips in. So I'm currently sauteing the chicken up in chili powder, garlic powder, a little bit of, quite a bit of Parmesan and cumin, and a little bit of onion powder. We just wanted to get a little golden. Now I'm about to melt down and cream the cream cheese to make my sauce. So this is your smoked paprika chili sauce. It looks a little bit beige on the camera, but it's actually more of a coral color. Now I'm going to add the wine. Yes, this is a wine-based sauce. You can make it without it. I'm going to use a little bit of pink Moscato because that's what I want. Do not use too much because it can break the sauce. About that much for this much. Maybe a little bit more. A little bit more. There we go. I'm using Italian shredded cheese. This is my portioning. You can use more. Use at your own discretion. So, to continue my recipe for my pasta, I cut up in halves tomatoes. You can also use the round cherry tomatoes if you want to, but this is just what they had at the store. About that much spinach. Maybe more, because the spinach is going to sweat and dehydrate. Yes, spinach is going into the pasta. And now we're going to saute in a little bit of oil or a little bit of butter our tomatoes. Just give it that nice saute. I'm not really good with the flip. I mostly do mine backwards. I've never really been good with the flip, but at least I got most of the butter coated so that once I start to stir it, it'll break them down a little bit and leave a little bit of redness in the pan. And we're going to use that. That's also going to affect the color of our sauce, which our sauce is the smoked paprika chili cream cheese sauce. So I added in my spinach. I used half the bag of spinach that I had. And what you want to do is you want to add in your spinach when your tomatoes are like 40% sweated out, just to combine the flavors. You do not want to season these vegetables because you already got a very flavorful sauce that is going into. The sauce is smoked paprika and chili cream cheese sauce. You also got fresh shredded Parmesan and mozzarella going in there with a little bit of cheddar. So for this recipe, you don't want to do that. You want your tomatoes to basically break down, some of them, so that it starts leaving those little red trails. Those little red trails from the tomatoes are also going to affect the sauce and the flavor. And that's why you want to combine the spinach and the tomatoes together in the pan. So now I'm going to take our base, right? And you want to stop the heat. It's up to you. If you feel you can move fast enough and add your base to it, then you can do that. And we're back. So stir over a lower heat. If you feel like you can cook under a faster heat, like a saute line, do it. Or a shorter line cook, then do so. This is your base. Might not look as pretty as right now, But trust me, you're going to add some milk and thin this out. But you want this to cook and the flavors to simmer for a few seconds. Or, you know, I'll be honest, maybe like 2 minutes. This one is a quick process because you're basically almost done with your sauce anyways. You just want to saute that sauce in there together. Now that you got bubbling, you're going to add your milk. Do not over pour. As needed. Chicken base powder. You want to make sure you only use that amount. This chicken base powder is flavorful. Some people can get the flavor peels for the chicken powder. So I added the milk, and that's why it's thinner and creamier. You're going to add a teeny bit of salt, and now we're going to start adding our cheeses in. Also add that some of these chicken bases do already have a heavy level of salt, so just be mindful and make sure you taste your chicken base before. If it doesn't have flavor, that's cool too. But mine had flavor, so I kept it to that little spoon and that little caplet. A little bit of mixed cheddar. So, yeah, about that much Parmesan. There's going to be more Parmesan to go in there too, by the way, depending on what I need. Stir in your Parmesan. Oh, and to achieve that orange coating that I already had in the other sauce for the smoked paprika sauce, the smoked paprika and chili sauce, all I did was add a little bit of chili and a lot of smoked paprika. You want that coral color, or that very light coral color. It's going to get a little more coral once the tomatoes reduce and the tomatoes color bleeds into the sauce. So you see how it's getting that little stretch to it? You want that. Taste your sauce. And also you're going to add a little more milk and more Parmesan. Again, as needed. Okay, so this is the chicken and I'm about to add the cheese. So as you can see, I cut the chicken a little bit on a bias and added some sauteed bell peppers. Also, let me add, if you want to get the most flavor out of your chicken, saute your bell peppers and your chicken a little bit in the same pan for a few minutes after the bell peppers are like halfway fully cooked and the chicken is fully cooked, and just add it. Add a little oil and let that bell pepper flavor sink into your seasoning with your chicken. It is officially time to eat. Look at that pretty color. I'm going to melt the cheese. Like, you guys can melt it with the torch if you want to, or if you put it in a cast iron skillet in the oven, you can do it that way. But I'm going to torch it a little bit. Yeah, I know the cilantro's on top, but I want the cilantro to kind of get crispy. That's how I like it. But this is just presentation otherwise. Or you could just warm it in the microwave, because if you're at home. But yep, excuse me, y'all, I burped, I'm sorry. But yes, this is it. This is finished product. Look at this color. If you want to, you can melt the cheese or whatever. If you have a cast iron skillet, you can use that skillet instead. But for me, I'm just gonna warm it in the microwave, call it a day. But this is it, y'all. This is it. Time for me to eat. See y'all later. Pre-packaged and ready for service. Pre-packaged and ready for service. Ain't that a beautiful beautiful day? Pre-packaged and ready for service.